Doug Flynn joins us now to talk more about the business headlines of the day. Certified financial planner, co-founder at Flynn Capital Management. Let's go home prices first, if that's okay. That's a fresh record, S&P Case-Shiller. So what do we make of where we're going with these home prices? They won't come down.
Yeah, that's the highest price since that index came out in 1987. So it makes sense, though, that the values are as high as they are. You have decreased supply, a lot of demand. But this is in light of the higher interest rates that we've seen. Now, interest rates have come down quite a bit in the last 2 months, but this index is sort of a 2 or 3 month lagging kind of an index. So we might see a little bit of that dip down in the upcoming months. But I mean, there's no question that the values are high and people are still thinking good things about the real estate market from here.
Let me talk about the consumer with you a little bit in a couple of ways with different metrics that came out today. First of all, we knew that there would be shopping numbers, so, coming off Cyber Monday, of course, Black Friday as well. But the Cyber Monday Adobe numbers showed about a 9.5% gain over last year, 9.6% to the upside. OK, so that's pretty good. Consumer confidence came out, and that also it bounced back. It was at a 15-month low, I believe, the last reading. But it bounced back, but you still saw some commentary today where people are still worried that we're not out of the woods when it comes to slowdown and or recession. So your kind of gauge on the American consumer, given all that.
Yeah, I mean, the Black Friday numbers were certainly very good. The one thing that was extremely troubling to me is there's something called the buy now, pay later portion of when you buy online. And that means that these are people that bought something that they intend to pay back later, either with interest or otherwise. And that was up 14.5% year over year. So it seems like people are still spending, but maybe they don't have quite as much money as they did, just a few months ago. But we have gas prices down. They have a little bit more money. So, consumers hanging in there pretty good. And even though the November index for the consumer confidence was up, it was October's was actually revised downward. That doesn't make as much news when they revised last month's downward a little bit. We just get the good news of how it's looking good for this month. But it just kind of speaks to the point that we're pretty much kind of treading water and maybe we're on a little bit of shaky ground. So we'll see how it plays out over the next couple of months into the new year.
Always the way. Amazon in the news today, in this afternoon with some announcements. One I thought was interesting on artificial intelligence. They have this chatbot that they're coming out with. I believe it's called Q. But the story, I think, with Amazon was that, hey, maybe they're a little behind some of the others in the AI department. Is this playing catch up, or what would you say about where Amazon's going with all this?
Well, it's interesting what the market looks at Amazon now as is more of a sort of an AI and that kind of tech company as opposed to just delivering your goods. But what's interesting to me is this is really a big key for AI with their Amazon Web Services that they do in the cloud, right? So they're a big cloud player. And the most interesting thing to me about it is their pricing is between $20 and $25 a month. And both Google and Microsoft's is $30 a month. So here we go with fighting for the AI backing part of running your business. Now, these are business applications. So if you have a business and you're trying to incorporate your Salesforce or your other types of programs, then this is going to save you a lot of programming. And that's what they're hoping for. But Amazon is excellent at getting everybody to spend money on a consistent monthly basis. That recurring revenue model is why the stock is where it is.
Yeah, and to your point, in addition to this chatbot, again, that's called Q, the AWS, the Amazon Web Services announcement was that they're going to partner up with Big Pharma, Pfizer and Amgen, I believe, and have make a greater use of cloud computing for, in the drug industry for drug discovery and what have you. Now, while we have a few minutes left, I want to talk about something that just broke here a few minutes ago. Charlie Munger died. And now people might say, who's Charlie Munger? Well, he's one of the great investors of our time in that he was not only the right-hand man to Warren Buffett, but even in his own right, before getting together with Warren Buffett, was known as a terrific business person and investor. And he just died at the age of 99. Warren Buffett, the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, saying that Berkshire could not have been built to its present status without Charlie's inspiration, wisdom, and participation. Just a little word, if you can, Doug, on the importance of Charlie Munger in the business that you're in.
Yeah, I think, well, Warren Buffett has that long-term view that everybody has as one of the greatest investors of all time. And what Charlie did for Warren was there were periods where Warren would underperform because he had a very specific way of investing. And Charlie brought to him a little bit of a different way to look at companies and really helped Berkshire Hathaway do probably better than it would have done had it stayed 100% with its old way of investing. Not that there was anything wrong with it, but it just expanded that. And so I think they worked very well together. Yeah. And there was a lot of concern with two older people, what's going to happen with their succession plan. But they have brought out in the last couple of years who is going to continue on. And so if that all stays intact, things should carry on with what they originally intended. Right.
And Charlie Munger, again, in his own right, one of the great investors of all time. And he just died at the age of 99. Wow. Doug, good to see you as always. We'll talk to you again soon. Doug Flynn.